Hey everybody, it's Dr. Faith here, your personal life coach with Triumphant Living Enterprises. I just wanted to pop in today and just talk with you. It's been a minute since I have done a live, and I'm so excited about what's in store and what's ahead for the next and the final quarter of this year, that I just wanted to come in and talk with you. Just wanted to stop by and say hi and just talk to you all about some great things that I'm working on. I want to be sure that I'm sharing and keeping you guys up to date on the things that I am doing. Personally, I had to take some time to take care of some projects and some great things, and I will be happy to share those with you later on this year or possibly even next year as well. But how you guys doing? How's life treating you? Hope you're doing wonderful. Hope you are being triumphant. I hope you are striving and excelling in all things. Let me just share, if this is your first time stopping by my channel, whether you are on YouTube or Facebook, welcome, welcome, welcome. Take a moment to subscribe and like this video. And most importantly, if anything that I share resonates with you, please share it with your connections, your people that you feel would benefit from listening to this message. I'm thinking along the title of Your Story is Your Brand. I'm going to talk to you all just a little bit today about Your Story is Your Brand. I've recently launched a 5-day coaching program, and it is Share Your Story of Triumph. And I want you to know that you have indeed a story of triumph. Whether you are experiencing a particular situation and you anticipate getting through that situation triumphantly. Maybe you have already triumphed in a particular area of your life, but I know we are all born for purpose and great purpose and reason. And in life, we're going to experience ups and downs and challenges, but in the end, it all works together for our good. Another thing, anytime I go live, it's always biblically based. I want to bring and talk to you all from personal experience as well. Sometimes I have other people that I'm interviewing, but when it's one-on-one like this, I like to share and inspire you all from the Word of God. So we're all born for a period of time, and when we are here, it will not always be peaches and cream, right? We all know this. We're going to have ups and downs, heartaches, struggles, adversity that we have to learn how to overcome, especially if we are the first in our family, in our generation, experiencing said situation, said event. Even the greater, we have to learn how to overcome it and trust God to help us every step of the way. So you're hearing a little bit about my brand and what I do. Triumphant Living is designed to empower individuals to overcome adverse situations and experience long-term success. This is what I do. This is my purpose. This is my calling now for the past going on 15 years to help people like yourself overcome that adverse situation and experience success, bounce back, as you probably would say. A shorter version of that may be. So I help you get your bounce back going on. I help you reinvent yourself. I help you find the good in a bad situation. I help you maximize on the hurt, maximize on the pain, and I show you how to turn it around and use it for good. So that's my expertise. That's what I do. And I use a variety of different outlets to accomplish that. I do professional speaking, which my passion is to speak. I'm speaking to you all right now. I couldn't wait to come live and talk to you all again. It's been a month or so. So I do that with professional speaking, also life coaching. I coach business professionals, individuals to experience triumph, whether it's a setback in their career, new business startup, changing careers, or overcoming personal adversity. I help individuals with that as well as a publishing consultant. So I help people publish their stories and get it out to the masses. So I have been doing this for over 15 years now, and very, very excited about what life holds in the future, because there's so many more different mediums that are opening up for me to share this platform on, and I'm grateful for that. As a professional speaker, been speaking over 30 years, and I bring all of that to the table to help my clients, to help those who I encounter in life just see their tragedy from a different perspective, and give the tools, provide the tools and the resources in how to do that. So it's not just talk. It's not just, oh, you're going through a tough situation, you know, you'll get over it. All right. I'm in there in the trenches with you. I'm that coach. I'm right there with you side by side, and I'm showing you step by step how to overcome that adverse situation, and just empowering you to take control of your life and look for ways and opportunities to triumph. So that's what I do in a nutshell. If this is your first time visiting my page, welcome again. And that is what I do. I'm Dr. Faith, founder of Triumphant Living Enterprises, and my goal is to empower you to live triumphantly. So today I just want to talk a little bit about your story being your brand. As I shared, I started a new 5-day coaching program, and I've been running this program now for over a month, and I've been getting some awesome feedback from my clients who have been taking this 5-day course, and you're going to meet a couple should you decide to sign up for this course. But let me just start from the kind of the get go, from the start, and just share with you what is this all about. And this that I'm sharing with you now is kind of a prelude to my course, so kind of like an appetizer, introduction. This is not included in the course. I just want to talk to you because it's, you know, it's been a little minute, but I want to talk to you about your story being your brand. You know, when I did some research on different types of brands, as we know traditionally, I went to my first source. And if you pop open your Google, you'll see dictionary.com is usually that first definition. When you look for a particular word and you type in define, that's kind of the first source that comes up. So dictionary.com defines a brand as a type of product manufactured by a particular company under a particular name. So a product that's manufactured by a company under a particular name. So already I'm quite sure you're thinking of different companies and their brands. So let's do a little branding game, right? So a brand, it's manufactured by a particular company under a particular name. So I'm going to say a couple of brands, and I want you to think for a second, what comes to mind, or you could even type it, what comes to mind when you think about this particular brand. So I'm going to say the company's name. Apple. What comes to mind when you think about Apple? The Apple brand. It's a big multi-billion-dollar industry brand, a leading brand internationally and globally. What I think about when I hear the brand Apple, I think about the experience. I think about the experience that I have with said products. I think about the iPod that I had over a decade ago and loved so dearly. I think about the iPad and those different things. And most recently, the iPhone that I have now. And it has always delivered a unique, professional, and seamless experience with technology and connecting me to different types of media and technology. So it's the experience for me. Okay. So what do you think when you hear the word Apple, the brand Apple? Here's another one. AMC Theaters. Not sure where you're joining us from, but wherever you're joining us from, welcome, welcome, welcome. You may have an AMC Theaters. They are throughout the United States. So what do you think about when you hear this particular brand of theaters? Let's see. I usually go to the AMC Theater when I want to dine in and just relax. They have an awesome menu of some delicious delicacies that I enjoy thoroughly. So I go there again for the experience. I love to dine in and have a good movie with good company, have good laughs. It's just an overall a great experience. You could recline the chairs and just really go for it, right? Have a good time, good laughs, and just it's really clean too. I like the AMC theater experience. So those are a couple examples of brand. I could also do some automotive brands. Let's see, Toyota. What comes to mind when you think about the Toyota brand, the experience, possibly your design and style of cars, accountability, you know, the the, the longevity may come to mind too. I'm a Toyota girl. So I've had some very great experiences with the Toyota brand. I mean, you could ride that bad boy out to about 300 plus miles, 300 plus thousand miles, and it'll keep going as long as you take good care of it. So I have some very good experiences with the Toyota brand. It outlasts a lot of the other brands that I won't mention, but it's just a good quality, long lasting brand, right? And when I go to the dealer, I also have a good experience at the Toyota dealership as well. And so that's very important. So again, a common theme with what I'm saying here, that common denominator, I'm hearing myself say experience. So when you think about your brand, your story is your brand, it brings me to my first question. What has your experience been? What is your experience? Your personal experience in life. Different from anybody else that you know. No two experiences are the exact same. Even if you're identical twins, your experience is not the same. Everyone has their own unique experience. So when you think about brand, I may be speaking to some adults. My target audience are adults between the ages of 35 and 65. I have a large target listening audience of women, but as equally as women listen, I do have a large men following that garner and it appreciate the triumphant living message as well. So it's like a 50-50 or almost a 49-51 experience that I um, allow those who listen and follow my brand to have. So, what is your experience? When I conducted another research on Forbes, I've used this definition before. It's from 2011. Let me read it to you. Um, Forbes, what is a brand anyway? And this is written by Jerry McLaughlin, 2011, and I love this definition. Simply put, your brand is what your prospect thinks when he or she hears your brand name. So not only what is your experience, but what are others' experience of you as well? What do people think when they hear your name and hear your brand? And I already know I have some people who are on the fence. They're like, I don't have a business, Faith, so I really don't need to be caught up with this brand thing. But you really do. Who you are is important business, right? So when you think about your brand and how you're showing up in the world, you have to ask yourself, what are my experiences? What is the message that I am conveying? And what is the experience I want others who encounter my brand to have? So I know I just said a mouthful, but your story is your brand, your experience. You want to take your experience and you want to use those experience to put together a brand that will impact other people, possibly that have that same experience or have never had that experience. If your experience is worthwhile and you're ready to share your experience with the world and help other people have similar experiences as you, then you may want to package that brand to give your followers, your listeners, that same experience. When I think about individuals who have a brand, I think about people who love to travel, right? You may be a traveler, and everyone isn't gifted or have the financial means to go out and travel. So as a international traveler, your brand may be to help others travel and feel like they're traveling right there with you, right? You may go to Aruba, you may go to Jamaica, exotic islands and Bahamas and just different places, Costa Rica, and you bring people along for that experience. And people will follow you because they know that wherever you're going to travel, you're going to bring them right into that experience to experience it with you. That's you sharing your love for traveling. That's you sharing your love for adventure. So when you enter a room, people are going to think adventurous. People are going to think, oh, she or he is a worldwide international traveler. That's somebody who I would like to get to know. I would like to follow that person's blog. I would like to subscribe to that person's YouTube because I want to be right there when that person is traveling on their next adventure. Because, see, I may not have the means to travel, but I know that if I follow this person, it will be as if I'm there. They're creating that experience for me, and it's working. I am enjoying it. I'm learning from it. I'm learning how to travel. So when my time comes to travel, I will be equipped and know that I need my passport, know that I need certain clothing, know that I need to have such world clocks so that I could keep up with the different time zones, right? I know how to pack. I know how what restrictions there are. I know which airline is the best airline because this world-class traveler always takes this particular airline, and it helps me narrow it down when it comes to my chance and opportunity to travel because I followed this world traveler. And there's such a great experience of what to do and what not to do through their traveling experiences, especially if this person is transparent and they're sharing the don'ts, not what not to do as well, and their mistakes and things like that. You're getting the real experience of a world-class traveler. And one day, if you really aim high and you really desire that for your own life, through this person, you too will feel empowered, and as if you will have an opportunity to travel the world as well. So I just gave you an example of what it is to have a brand, what it is to pull people into the experience of your brand. And whether they've lived it, experienced for themselves, or have any frame of reference, it doesn't matter. It is what you give to people that they will remember you by, and then also subscribe or ascribe to what it is your brand is sharing with them that they need to know or need to have. Okay? What is your brand? Your story is your brand. Okay, so let's talk about what your brand is not. Because if I'm talking to the person today that has not quite figured out their brand, their story, you may be struggling. You may be thinking, I'm not there yet. Again, Faith, hello, I am not in business, so this really does not apply to me. But yes, it does. Listen, we are all walking billboards. When you enter a room, your energy, how you look, your smile says it all. How do you want to be remembered? What do you want people to identify you with? So let's talk about what your brand is not. Because, my background is education. So I've learned not only to talk about the good examples. I did the examples of kind of like major brands We talked about Apple, we talked about AMC Theaters, and then I gave an example of an individual who may be a traveler, and the whole brand idea is to pull you into an experience, right? So hopefully I said enough that you could catch on, and you're sticking with me here. You with me? Okay, good, 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 good. So what is a brand not? What is a brand not? So I want you to think about this. Your brand is not your circumstance. It's not your circumstance. Okay? I know life deals us different hands, and it is how we choose to address and to work with the hand that we're dealt that I believe develops our character and causes us to evolve into who God has called us to be in this lifetime. But your brand is not your experience. If you grew up in poverty, possibly even homeless, that's not who you are. It's not to dictate your future. Uncomfortable, yes. Unfortunate, yes, I understand. But is this who you are? Are you a poor person? No. In education, I have taught middle and high school students who were homeless and living in hotels. Their peers had no idea I knew as their teacher, and they were the happiest child in my classroom, smartest student in my classroom. And I say that to say that they inspired me, because you would look at a child who's homeless and you would think, how sad that is. They don't have anywhere to stay. They have to go to an extended stay hotel each and every day. But guess what? That's temporary. Oh, that's temporary. That will pass. This too shall pass. And every day those children would have a smile on their face, because you know what? School was their safe haven. School was their hot meal for breakfast. And then they had their lunch. And if they had an after school activity, which normally they did, they had a snack after school. They had the facilities, full use of the facilities. They had air condition. So school was their safe haven. It was their getaway from whatever was waiting on them when they returned to their hotel or motel. And I saw some students fight through that, and it inspired me. It let me know that no matter what situation or circumstances you may grow in, they didn't ask for that. But that's the hand that they were dealt. That's the hand that their parents were dealt. Possibly situations happened. I'm not judging. You never know what happened. They could have lost their job. Right now it's a huge majority that's just one paycheck away from poverty. And just thank God. If it's not you, thank God. I would never look at a situation ever again in life and say, boy, if that was me, I don't know how I would handle it. I believe God's grace is on us to endure the hand that we were dealt. And I saw God's grace on these young children's life to go through what they had to go through, and their parents weren't happy about it. But these young children found happiness as their teachers. They found safety in us, and we were their caregivers for those 8 hours and plus throughout the day. And we created that bond with those students, and loved on them and treated them equally, treated them the same despite their situations and circumstances. And I know some today, you might be listening, because a lot of my students are following me on social media. Shout outs to all my students. You know where you are and who you are. But you made it big. You have a story. You do. You made it big. You didn't allow life's circumstances to dictate who you are and who you would become. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of anybody who's listening that has come across adverse situations. You may have grown up in your household fatherless. Father was not there to be an example, to provide for your household. You're probably coming up in a single parent home. But guess what? God still loves you. You still have an opportunity. You are still important. You can still connect with individuals both in your home, in your school, in your church, in your community, getting parents, getting your children involved. and positioning them in front of role models who can definitely inspire and encourage them. They have to see that. So you're not alone. This is, again, temporary. Circumstances change. I would encourage you, in whatever circumstance you may find yourself, whether it is from what I've mentioned, whether it is poverty, you're suffering the loss of a loved one, you may be widowed, you may be, again, fatherless, without a father in the home, you may be a single parent, you may be struggling to go back to school, you may just have found yourself in a hard place. Be kind to yourself. It's okay. Life dealt you that hand. The key is understanding, God, what am I to get from this experience? This is my story now. I'm living it. I'm the main character in this chapter of my life. Yes, I know seasons will change, but in the meantime and in between time, God, what do you want me to get from this experience? Who are you trying to mold me to become and make possibly something I've never seen before? Help me, Lord, because I don't understand it. It's hard, it's challenging, and it's difficult. Oh, you just stepped in the triumphant arena. Let me talk to you, baby. This, what you do with that circumstance, with that experience, with that situation, will determine your brand, how people see you, how you are perceived, what message you are sending. Usually it's a one-word brand. It's a one-word brand. It's a one-word brand for me, triumph. So if we are connected, I want you to experience ultimate triumph, overcoming that situation and that circumstances, understanding that it's temporary. It is not who you are. Yes, it may be the hand that you were dealt, but you choose what you do with that situation. So in a situation like this, when you're open, when you're vulnerable, when you're ready to hear from God, your Father, you allow him into your situation. That's when he will turn it for you. That's when he will show you, when you're open to hear, when you're open to hear, when you're welcoming advice, when you're praying, when you're seeking him, you're trying to understand. It doesn't feel good. It's not comfortable. It's temporary. It's a circumstance, and it's not going to be like that always. So in situations like this, a circumstance, an experience does not dictate who you are. That's not your story. That's not how your story is going to end. What you do with that circumstance, that experience, will dictate and determine who you are. But I want to encourage you, as you are experiencing circumstances and different situations in your life, that you take the time. You take the time to pray. You take the time to understand. You take the time to seek knowledge. You take the time to seek help so that you can become who God is calling you to become. It may be the first in your family. I'm connected to a lot of firsts because I'm a first person, first generation born here in America, first to earn a doctorate degree as far as I know in my family, first. In a lot of situations. Forerunner, my favorite vehicle, forerunner, in my personal family, in my life, in those that I know, forerunner, go before a lot of people and pave the way. Was it hard? Yes, it is hard. Was it challenging? Yes, because we're oftentimes doing things we've never seen modeled and demonstrated before. We're forced, so to speak, to seek God and to seek the higher source for help, for guidance. But you have to be open. It could be opposite of that. You could, woe is me. You could complain. You could be bitter, right? But why spend so much time cultivating the negativity, the negative energy, when you could take that circumstance and you could become a learner of it, and you could seek to understand God and and then who he's called and created you to be, and why you're in the circumstances that you're in now. Some are self-inflicted. There's many lessons to learn with situations that result in our poor choices. We have to own it. We have to first own it. You can't have a brand if you don't own your story behind it. You first have to own it, embrace it, and own it. And then you have to seek to understand and be open to change, be open to the answers. So I wanted to take a minute. I know that took a couple of minutes, but we're talking about the goodness of some brands here, some well-known brands, and we're talking about the experiences that one has as a result of encountering that brand. But we also want to talk about what a brand is not, because see, I don't want you to get stuck in what the brand is not. And you may be in a place in your life right now where your brand is still under development, because see, you're still going through, you're still trying to understand, you're still navigating these troubled waters. You're in good hands. You're all right. You'll get there. You will get there. It will take some time. But what you do is you take the time with that experience and you seek to turn it around. Ask God to give you vision. Ask God to give you vision. Help you see beyond where you are. If you're feeling stuck, I'm encouraging you to ask God to help you see beyond where you are to where he has for you to be. And I guarantee you it's beautiful. It's mind-blowing, okay? And it may take some time to absorb, but I encourage you to write that vision down. Write that vision down. What you see, what you want out of life. Okay? Because your circumstances is not who you are. In every phase of our lives, we're challenged to dream bigger. Because at some point in time, you're going to accomplish your goal. When I was 12 years old, my goal was to start my own business, and I did. I started a hair salon in my home. My mom was my manager. I talked about this on the most recent interview that I had with Orlando Voyager. Shout out to Orlando Voyager for the interview this past summer. But I talk about my experience as an entrepreneur, a lot of hard lessons learned, but a lot of great experiences. My brand as a hairstylist, I then for years went to cosmetology school and really made a profession out of this gift and talent that God gave to me. But what I love the most about doing hair, I could do it all, y'all. Braids be popping, cuts, dye, color. I just loved making women feel beautiful. They would come into my home one way, and then they would leave out looking and feeling a completely different way. That did something to me. I felt like I was contributing to their wholeness, to their happiness, to their life. Did I have sometimes some disgruntled customers? Yes, I did. My mama had to deal with them when I was underage, but as I became an adult, trust me, I learned how to deal with them quickly. But nevertheless, the good outweighs the bad. And I know now, and I knew it then too, that at a young age, I enjoyed helping people look and feel beautiful, their best, right? So I kind of took that passion and just ran with it, and started writing and speaking and those other things as well. But that's my experience with my brand. So I want you all to kind of take some things that I have shared, whether you are in your brand, whether you've never thought to make your story your brand, or if you're a business owner, you know what your brand is, right? Some day to day, I encourage you to open up your business plan, open up your vision, and just refer to it. There's a business plan, a blueprint for a business should always be updated. It should always evolve. If your blueprint still includes typewriters, right? You have not evolved, okay? Because we have so many different ways to capture information: tablets, iPads, smartphones, right? So a business plan isn't a business plan to just plan it and put it away. A business plan is your blueprint. It is your vision for your business that you should be, from time to time, at least quarterly, reviewing your business plan and making updates to it. It's a living, breathing document, especially if you have employees that report to you that this document should be shared and made public. And one day, if you want sponsorships and investors to invest in your business, how far you want to go? How far you want to go? It's up to you. How far you want to go? Make sure that business plan is intact. So make sure you're visiting it and seeing if you're staying true to your brand. And listen, has your brand changed or evolved? Your brand 10 years ago, even look, 5 years ago, possibly isn't the same brand. Your target audience may have shifted and changed. You may see now that you have a knack for millennials, right? And you may want to no longer use Snapchat, but come on over to TikTok and see if you could get some clientele using TikTok's innovation. So as a business owner, your brand should also evolve. What your message is, you should hone in on it. Should be so crystal clear that when you enter a room, that person say, yep, there he go. There he go. He always about helping people to triumph, right? Or there she is. We know that you call Faith to an event. She's going to empower. She's going to be near about breaking it down and helping everybody overcome what little or small things they have gone through. That's what I want people to think when they see me, okay? And your brand also keeps and safeguards you away from people who are not. That's it, people who are not. Everybody's not going to want to partner with my brand because I'm not a representation of what they stand for, right? If you know that you want to talk down to and belittle children, adults, single mothers, and those different things, or men, you don't call me, because I won't be an asset to your brand. That's a brand clash right there. So your brand also sways people away from you that are not. For lack of a better word, I don't know how to describe it, but they're not a part of your brand. And should never be a part of your brand. You are not a part of their brand. That's what a good branded message does for people. It keeps those people away who are not, okay, what you represent, who are not what you are and who you are. So that's important too. So yeah, if you're business owners, look at your brand, take your business plan out. And if me saying business plan to you is foreign, that could be a good start. How are you progressing in your business? Where is it in the plan? Okay. I'll tell you now, my business plan from 2007 has evolved to its finest right now. And it's evolving even more because since COVID, I've now added an additional service, which is our e-courses. So my 5-day coaching program is an e-course, and clients and customers can go online, and it's self-paced. 5 days, lots of good quality information is delivered each day, and it's self-paced, and you guide yourself through the process. So it may start 5 days, but you may notice that you need a full week, 7 days, to really dig into and identify your story and find the triumph in your personal story. So there you have it right there. Business owners and those who are looking to start your business, let this be an inspiration to you to sit down and take some time to think about what message do I want to deliver? Do I want to take my personal experience of how I overcame homelessness and poverty, the steps that I have taken to have a book, possibly start with a blog, possibly transition to an ebook, and then find you a small printing press and press some self-publications that way, and book a gig or two with your church organization, your communities. Organizations are always looking for speakers. And then if you have a blog, if you have a website, that's even better. right? That's an open door that you could speak to a target audience who need your message. Your story is your brand. Am I helping anybody here? Come on. So in the different range that this message has gone, from somebody who may have experienced having a business, having a brand, just encouraging you to hone in, evolve, 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 target, retarget, plan, revisit your vision, make sure that your brand is speaking for you. I could do another video on particular colors and trademarks and all of that good stuff. I'm happy to do that, but I kind of just want to pop back in and talk to you a little bit about your store being your brand. And then on the other end of the spectrum, the person who has yet to start and they're trying to find their way. You may be in a circumstance or situation. Let this be a reminder to you that your circumstance and your situation is not who you are. Okay, it is an opportunity to learn and to grow and develop, to understand more about your Heavenly Father, to have an experience and an encounter with Him, and also to understand more about yourself. It could be choices that you've made. It could just be circumstances that you've probably even inherited. Hey, guess what? They're still not yours. Could be passed down. It's still not yours. And there's ways to overcome it. Health issues and things like that you may be dealing with. That's not who you are, baby. That's an opportunity for you to allow the Most High in, for Him to show you a new way, a better way, a different way, give you the blueprint for success to overcome that situation. Okay? And then if you're thinking of starting a business, hey, this is a great start. Start with your story. Who are you? What's your message? How do you want to be remembered? What do you want people to think about you when they hear your business name, when they hear your slogan? What do people want to think about you when you enter a room? You are your brand. And I'll take it a step further. The story that God has given to you, it is your brand. That's your start. And we all know it's not about how you start, but it's about how you finish. If I were to give you a scripture reference, it would be, the race is not given to the swift, but to those who can endure to the end. So that is my prayer for you, that you endure hardships as a good soldier, and know that God has called you to do great things, but that comes with a price. That comes with a price, and you have to be willing to pay that price. It may require some time for you to learn a new and a better way, and likewise as equal time to unlearn the wrong way of doing things. But you're worth it. Your children are worth it. Your generation is worth it. The people who God has lined up for you to touch with your story, once you're ready to share it, it will be well worth it. If there is one who benefits from this video today, it was well worth it. It was well worth it to hop on and to just come back and talk about your story being your brand. So be encouraged today. I want you to know that triumph means to experience long-term success after overcoming great difficulties. And that is my prayer for you, that whatever you have experienced in life, whatever hardships you've experienced, whatever tragedies, trauma, difficulties, challenges, and struggles, my prayer for you is that you overcome it. And by God's grace, overcome it. And in the end, you experience success, long-term success, one that you will never turn back to that old experience, traumatic experience again, but you will pick up speed and you will run forward and not look back. And you will pick up anybody or everybody that you encounter in life that has a similar experience. Even one encouraging word can transform someone's life. Being a resource, saying, hey, read this book, or hey, read this blog, or hey, I have this for you, or giving somebody 30 minutes of your time to encourage them who is where you used to be or have been in life. That's successful. Don't let all this other stuff fool you guys. Transforming and changing lives is successful. one life at a time. You could keep the numbers, you could keep all of the fanfare. Has your life been changed and impacted for the better as a result of our encounter? That's my prayer for you. Long-term success. So this is Dr. Faith, your personal life coach, signing out today and letting you know it has been a pleasure talking with you. I miss you guys. You are just the best. Wherever you are, and do a quick plug. Wherever you are, be sure that you subscribe. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like and share and hit that notification so you'll be notified when the next video comes along. If you're on Facebook, make sure you like and then select favorites so that you can get all of my updates. I'm constantly updating. Visit my website, triumphantliving.org or lorettafaithharris.com, and check out my services. Share Your Story of Triumph 5-day coaching program is designed to help you get your story out. All right. And get in position to share that story, whether it's through conversation. Okay. You could be talking to somebody, hey, let me tell you about what I experienced in life and how I overcame. Or it could be during an elevator pitch. 60 seconds is usually all we have to get our potential client's attention. Go for it. Here's your elevator pitch. Or you could use it as a great keynote opening. When you're speaking, you could share your story of triumph to captivate your audience and to pull them in. I'll show you how to do all of that in just 5 days. Just give me 5 days. Yes, you have to make an investment. Like anything else, it does require an investment, but it will be well worth it because you will have the program and all of the resources at your fingertip, downloadable on your PC, your smartphone, wherever you are accessing this resource. Again, so go to lorettafaithharris.com, select services, and try out the most recent service, Share Your Story of Triumph 5-day coaching program. I cannot wait to connect with you. And at the end of that 5-day program, you will have an opportunity to book time with moi. Yes. But you got to go through the program first. We will work together and can work together one-on-one, because not only will I walk you through the process, but I want to give you feedback. I want to hear your story one-on-one and give you some feedback and talk to you. So I will get to meet you personally. But again, make an investment that will transform and change your life. And whether you're ready in day 5, day 7, or probably you need a full week, because you'll see the resources that you have to work through first. Then tag team, then tag me in the ring. And when I come in the ring, you better get ready for some triumph. You better get ready to transform your whole way of thinking and your entire life, because I'm going to show you how to overcome that odd situation. I'm going to show you how to pull on the sources, the main source, God, and the resources that He's made available to you to overcome. Oh, I'm just getting warmed up. I'm just getting warmed up. Oh, come on, somebody. Let me drink my sparkling water. But I'm going to end it right there, because I'm going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit more about sharing your story of triumph. I have some gigs going on in Clubhouse and partnering with some other individuals. And that's going to be another opportunity for you too, to come on a platform and share your story of triumph. So, hey, this is my life. This is why I'm here, guys. This is why I do what I do. And I believe I do it well. By God's grace, I'm empowering you. I'm showing you how to get from where you are to where you want to be. And I'm helping you overcome and giving you the tools to successfully do that. Let's work. Share your story of triumph. Your story is your brand. Believe it, declare it, say it, identify it, walk like it, talk like it, and be confident about that thing. Until next time.